Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic I get asked about pretty frequently, and that is cross-listing across multiple reselling platforms without going crazy. The truth is, reselling, like many things in life, is a hustle, and the difference between making a little bit of money and really scaling your reselling business is efficiency. It 100% of the time always comes down to how efficiently you can spend not just your money, but your time. For me, the tool that has made the biggest difference in managing my time efficiently and effectively is Vendoo. Today, I thought I would give you guys a very thorough breakdown of exactly what Vendoo is, how it saves me time, how it saves me money, and why I think it's worth it. Before I get into all of the meat and potatoes about how Vendoo can save you time and money as a reseller, I would like to thank Vendoo for sponsoring today's video. Let's start with the basics. What is Vendoo? Vendoo is a cross-listing and inventory management tool designed by and for resellers. Basically, it is a central hub where you not only create the listing, you can push it out to a dozen marketplaces, and you can manage your inventory, manage that listing all the way up to the time of your taxes, all in one place using Vendoo. Now, if you've ever done it like I used to back in the dinosaur days, the days where I was still writing addresses on packages, and after that I progressed to printing a label and cutting it out and taping it onto a package. Back when I used to do that, instead of purchasing my labels at home and using a thermal label printer, I was also, believe it or not, copying, pasting, and even screenshotting my photos, going into each individual marketplace and relisting items that way. Let me tell you, I wasted a lot of time doing that, and that time could have been used more effectively to scale my reselling business really early on. All of that versus the way Vendoo works. With just a few clicks, your listing can be live instantly across multiple marketplaces. While cross-listing is the backbone of Vendoo, we are truly only scratching the surface. That's just the start. Now that you know essentially what Vendoo is, being a cross-listing service, let's get to the real meat and potatoes, why you're here, and that is how Vendoo saves me time, which translates into the more important aspect of this business, how it saves and makes me money. First, let's talk about the ways that Vendoo saves me time, because I tell you, you can waste a lot of things in this business. If you waste money, you can make it back. If you waste shipping supplies, you can go buy more. But if you waste your time, you will absolutely never get it back. In this business and in life, time is one of your most important resources. You need to realize that now, and when you can hire out any job, you should do that. You will run out of your own time. It is finite, so it is advantageous of you to use someone else's, in this case using Vendoo. Let's say your goal is to list 10 items a day, because I know with many people, especially when you're first starting out in reselling, you want to know, what is that magic number? Should I list 5 items a day? Should I list 50 items a day? And a lot of people seem to settle on about 10 items a day. Now let's just assume you're not the most adventurous cross-lister, but you do want more eyes on your items. So let's suppose that you have 3 marketplaces that you list on. You're wanting to list 10 items a day to 3 separate marketplaces. That means getting up 30 new listings a day. Now, if every single listing takes you, let's just say 5 minutes to get each listing done, that's 150 minutes. We're looking at 2.5 hours of your time to get 30 listings up. Let's suppose that you only had to list each one of those items one time, and Vendoo was able to cross-list it for you. That 10 items times 5 minutes is 50 minutes. What could have taken you 2.5 hours now takes you less than 1, and you still effectively and much more efficiently got that listing out, got all of those 30 new listings out. The 10 items are listed and cross-listed to 3 different marketplaces. You're now spending 1/3 the amount of time to do the same amount of work, and that is an exponential savings. Let's say you list to 5 different marketplaces. If you list with Vendoo one time and it pushes it out to 5 different marketplaces, you're spending 20% of the time. You're saving 4/5 of the time. You are doing the same amount of work in 1/5 the amount of time. It's honestly more advantageous, and you save even more time the more marketplaces you list to, because you will only have that initial spend of listing each one of those items individually once, especially if you utilize listing within Vendoo versus listing on eBay, importing your items, and then listing them to other marketplaces. But you can do that as well, because I get that question a lot. Rachel, what if I already have have 150 items listed over on eBay and I want to start using Vendoo. Am I going to have to take all 150 listings and put them into Vendoo? The answer is no, you do not have to do that. Vendoo has allowed you to be able to integrate those marketplaces so seamlessly that you can take your 150 pre-existing listings, upload them to Vendoo, and then push them out to any marketplace that you want to. The caveat there being there could be some tweaks, some additional fields, because if you've ever cross-listed, you know that the fields that eBay requests are not the same as the fields Poshmark request or Whatnot request, but it is still pretty seamless, and Vendoo is quick to inform you, stop you before you list that some of those fields may be missing for the particular platform that you've chosen. It is still a very seamless integration. Now, all of that time that you are saving can be spent in other areas of your business. You may spend it sourcing. Who wouldn't want an extra trip to the thrift store, am I right? You could spend it photographing items. You could spend it shipping your items. You could spend all of that extra time hosting an additional Whatnot show every week. Or, crazy idea here, you could spend it resting, because I'm willing to bet if you're like any reseller, especially a brand new reseller, some of us very seasoned resellers, you could use a little bit more rest. Vendoo also has a pretty state-of-the-art, in my opinion, delist and relist feature. So instead of paying some of these platforms to promote your items, you could simply delist and relist those on a recurring basis. And I'm talking about in batch. You can delist and relist, let's say 75 items. I think Vendoo reports being able to handle up to 250 items at one time. So you could just mark that in your calendar, which day of the week, of the month, bi-weekly that you want to delist and relist your items, creating those new listings that the platform algorithms absolutely love and favor, always keeping your store fresh and driving new buyers and new interest to your items. Honestly though, at the end of the day, you could have brand new listings every day and buyers still not see them if you don't have premium photos, and that is where Vendoo's photo software really comes in clutch. On Vendoo, you can upload all of your photos one time, and Vendoo actually serves as the photo host. So you don't have to downgrade your photos. You can use your high resolution photos and you can edit them right there within Vendoo. I'm talking about erasing the backgrounds, adjusting brightness, contrast, even adjusting the size, relevant to each platform. You can do all of that right there in Vendoo and only have to edit those photos one time, because it's kind of like a video on YouTube. The thumbnail is what draws you in. If the thumbnail is trash, you're not even going to see how outstanding the video may be. If your listing photo, your lead photo is garbage, no one's going to click on your listing. Vendoo, through tons of market analysis and research, has given you all of the tools to ensure that you have those bright, vibrant photos that not only are the algorithms going to prefer, but the search engines are going to prefer them as well. The best part is that the built-in photo software also helps you save even more money, because you're no longer having to pay for a separate photo editing software. Okay, so the item has been cross-listed, the photos are taken care of. Let's talk about how Vendoo actually keeps me from making a pretty costly mistake. And I think this is a mistake pretty well every reseller who's ever cross-listed anything has made at one point or another. You know what I'm about to say. When an item sells, only you already sold it on another marketplace. Cancellations can hurt your metrics in a big way, especially if you have to cancel a sale over on eBay. And sometimes you can even be charged fees. Worst of all, you lose buyer's trust. A buyer who decided to take their hard-earned money and invest it in you and in your business now no longer sees you as professional. How does Vendoo help with this? Let me tell you, they have saved my skin more than once. When your item is cross-listed on Vendoo to, let's say, 5 other platforms and the item sells, Vendoo is going to go in and automatically delist it from the other platforms, showing that it is no longer available. And let me tell you just recently how this really helped me. I had a ton of Barbie items that I listed straight to eBay. And then I thought, you know, I could have an entire Barbie themed Whatnot show. First of all, I didn't have to list a single item into my Whatnot show. I just selected all my Barbie items within Vendoo, cross-listed them over to Whatnot, and then made those active in Whatnot in my show. And then here's the best part. While I had my show, I did not have to be concerned if this 1960s midge sold, because Vendoo automatically took it off of my eBay. Previously, I would have been concerned that at the end of my Barbie show, I might have pulled up eBay and some of the items I just sold to live buyers on Whatnot would have sold on eBay. What would you do in that situation? You don't want to disappoint your live auction buyer here, and you also don't want to face the wrath of eBay having to cancel possibly and potentially multiple sales. Vendoo, it's like they were sitting there in the room with me. Every time I sold an item on Whatnot, they delisted it from my eBay, and it was automatic. I didn't have to do anything. All of this translates to fewer mistakes, fewer fees, fewer refunds, and fewer bad reviews. Thank you so much, Vendoo, for saving my skin. Many of you know I am truly a numbers and analytics person, so let's shift the focus to another way that Vendoo helps me make money and saves me time by helping me make smarter decisions and choices based off of actual sales data. Everything that is listed in my Vendoo account can be tracked within Vendoo. When I am listing the item, I can detail my cost of goods, and Vendoo will help me to track profits. Vendoo is going to be able to dissect all of the platforms that I cross list on to tell me which platform is my top performer. Vendoo is even going to break it down further and show me which categories are moving fast. Let's say dresses just sit for me. I will know when I'm sourcing, Rachel, stop buying dresses. But let's say I can't stock shoes fast enough, they fly off the shelf. I will understand that when I walk into a thrift store sourcing, I need to pay more attention to shoes. I need to be buying shoes because that seems to be what my platforms are selling, what I am selling on these various platforms, and I will just be able to understand that much better than just standing in my room of inventory and saying, the tote of dresses is still pretty full, but the shoes are growing empty. I will have actual sales data and metrics. Or let's say that maybe a few pair of shoes sold, but my average sales price was substantially higher than 100 dresses that I sold, and I only had an average sales price very low in comparison. I may decide to pivot my business and focus on quality over quantity, and the metrics for that would be stored within Vendoo as well. Analytics are always going to be able to show you where to focus your energy. Now, once you have your items cross-listed, your photos are amazing, you have all of the analytics, the data, how do you keep all of this organized? Because just simply organizing a reselling business can quickly become pretty overwhelming, especially if you've never done it before and you're not into buying all of the spreadsheet. Vendoo helps organize all of my data across all of the various marketplaces and platforms I sell on. I don't have to go at tax time to each individual marketplace and platform in order to break down my cost of goods, all of my fees. Everything is right there within Vendoo. I'm not paying my accountant to sort out my rat's nest of a mess. I can deliver a clean product when it is tax time because Vendoo did all of that bookkeeping for me. While many of these features are available on Vendoo's desktop site, one of my favorite things about Vendoo is the fact that they have an app for that. Yes, I can list items, I can begin a listing, I can take photos, cross list, all from my phone. That again saves me so much time and money because it enables me to take those short little waits while I'm waiting in line. And one of my favorite places to do business on my phone while I am in my son's pickup line at the school, because that is time again you'll never get back, and you're just sitting in the car, you're kind of a captive audience there. I can be working on my listings because Vendoo has an app, and I think that that means a lot to the community that they had the forethought to put out an app, because we really don't just sit at our desk all day in front of a desktop. We are a mobile community and we needed that mobile app. Of course, all of this sounds great. I would be hard pressed to find someone that would not want all of these advantages in their reselling business. But the true question I know that you have right now is the cost. Is it worth it? How much is Vendoo? We're gonna break it down, and I know that you want to know, is it worth it? I will give you the short answer there. Yes, absolutely. I feel like Vendoo is worth it. The time, which we've already stated you'll never get back, the time save alone immediately pays for the monthly cost. The delist and relist feature gets so many new eyes on your item, again pays for the cost. Let's say that you haven't even been cross-listing. You've only been listing your items to eBay. The fact that you're going to have a dozen marketplaces, the potential to sell on a dozen marketplaces, that is worth the cost. For me, the peace of mind and knowing that I'm not gonna sell an item that I already sold is worth the cost. That is the most cringe moment in reselling for me. And I don't have to pay for other photo editing apps. So even though there is a cost for the subscription, for Vendoo, you're actually making more money because you have it. But let's break down the monthly options. Vendoo offers various pricing plans based off of the number of items that you'll need to be uploading and cross-listing monthly. And those vary from free to unlimited. And yes, I did say free. If you're still on the fence about whether or not Vendoo is right for you, you can try it out for free. And I don't mean try it out with a trial subscription that you have to remember to go cancel in 7 or 30 days. I mean, it is free. You don't even enter any payment information, and you'll have 5 listings this month. You'll have 5 listings right now. At the end of this video, you can click and sign up for 5 free listings. It's open to anybody. Then you'll be able to play around inside of Vendoo and see if it's right for you. See there, that's the free plan. That is the base level, and I'm telling you, it's 100% free. From there, you basically build your own plan, only paying for the features that you need and that you want. You can pay monthly or yearly, and there are huge discounts to paying yearly. But let's say you want to dip your toe in the water with a monthly plan. Those start at $8.99 a month. You are paying more for a coffee in the morning. You could have an entire month of Vendoo. That is for 25 items and 25 background removals. The simple plan, which is great for pretty much anyone just starting out on Vendoo, is going to bump you up substantially in items. You have 125 items and 125 background removals for your photos. You're getting that for $19.99 a month. So less than $1 a day. If you think Vendoo is going to net you more than $1 a day in profits, that plan has already paid for itself. From there, you can double that for $10 more. $29.99 a month. We are at $1 a day, 250 items. From there, you can grow to the pro plan and even the unlimited plan. Now, these are all prices as of September of 2025. If you're watching this video later, pricing could have changed, but the annual plans with the huge discounts were introduced, I want to say last year in 2024. And those annual plans are built to save you money. As I stated before, Vendoo has many a la carte options. You are only paying for the things that you want and actually need in your business. There are all kinds of extra features that you can add in. Also, I want to mention that if you do choose an annual or yearly subscription, the new marketplace sharing tool, which is super helpful for websites like Poshmark, you're locked in to have that tool for the lifetime of your subscription. So an annual plan is definitely something you want to consider if it's right for your business. A huge thank you again to Vendoo for sponsoring today's video, all of this great information, and for creating a tool that helps resellers save time and make more money. If you want a discount off of your Vendoo subscription, that first month can be 25% off by using the link down below in my description, as well as the pinned comment. If this video helped you decide if Vendoo's right for you, please like it, comment, let me know your favorite Vendoo features, and share this with a fellow reseller who could be considering Vendoo or a cross-listing service in their business. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. God bless.